Hello, everyone at home. Welcome to the Hokeki Heroes campaign, Trials of the Wickermen. Today we have everybody but Hedge in the middle, and also new stream overlays. Spent some time making it. Made like all of the things custom. Took a couple inspiration from a couple D&D shows from graphic artists who are much better than I am, and put on spin on it. Yeah, as you can see, we have our new cards at the bottom. We have our things over there. But yeah, how is everyone?
Here.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I feel ya. It has been a day.
Right.
So, who needs a recap?
I wouldn't mind one. Honestly.
Awesome, because last week, we had this thing happen called the Black Wedding, where all the motherfuckers died, and there's also a lot of things happening. Nirvash and the Sapphire Empire crashed the wedding before, where everybody started to sort of do a little bit of ass kicking, and then 10 ancient dragons, who Nirvash called the Dragonflight, showed up. From there, Raudos, right after the dragon showed up, managed to get off the spell Wish, wishing they were gone. Okay, look. Okay, so it actually wasn't inspired by World of Warcraft. Apparently, a group of dragons is called a dragonflight.
Yeah, no, I'm just joking, dude.
Oh, I know. It's just thing. What's it? From there, everybody everybody tried to help with all of the cleanup afterwards. Everybody tried to make sure everybody else is safe. Amelie went off on her own. The party managed to catch up with her and console her as much as they could, helping her decide to not, abandon everything. Before being offered a opportunity by the gods, by Cosset specifically, of having an out where no one would remember her, and she would never have become the champion of the gods. Which, it's a bit of a loaded deal, admittedly, but it is what it is. From there, now Amelie has that little bit of power over Sylvanas, who was very much stressed at the idea of himself being, as he said, removed from the playing field. So yeah. Also, I don't see Pod and Jose on Roll20.
Oh, my bad.
I haven't logged in yet. Give me a second. I forgot.
You're good. But yeah, I'll say y'all have it, and yeah, as soon as they get logged in, we will resume where we are with y'all waking up that morning, the day after the Black Wedding. Also, you'll have no idea how long it took to find all of those freaking dragon roars. I tried so hard to find some that were good. I ended up pulling a lot from the Monsterverse for Godzilla. It was like, okay,
Yeah,
Nirvash is
recognize some of
Godzilla.
them.
Yeah, because like Zimondis's was King Ghidorah. I know Idahog's was the dragon from Skyrim. I don't remember a lot of the others. I know at least one of them in there is Simo from Godzilla movies. But yeah, all right. So as I say, everybody now, especially Amelie, you find that you've had a restful night's sleep to an extent. I would like everyone to roll me a d20. And just do it in roll 20. Don't worry about D&D Beyond for this one.
Yeah.
9.
Give me a
Okay.
second.
Shoot.
14.
14. Okay. And Kiwi.
Just a flat D20.
Flat D20.
7.
7. Okay. So Isaac and Pensy. What would y'all have had nightmares about?
Probably giant dragons attacking the city I'm in.
Okay. Pensy?
Huh. I don't really know. Maybe just general anxiety about the future, considering things are about to get crazy.
Considering shit just hit the fan?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it definitely did. So yeah, you're, I'll say Pensy didn't have as much of like a sleepless night. He was kind of like tossing and turning, kind of contemplating what the hell just happened and what did I just get into? What was I just drafted into, basically? And
Yeah.
Isaac, you have this dream where you are holding the now transcendent version of Drake Siphon, which I believe we finally got to work. Um, uh, Damn it, Phil! Damn it, Phil!
Dude, don't read group chat when you're narrating, dude.
For reference on stream, Phil said Varys dreams and nightmares about women getting equal rights.
My fucking god.
Women and minorities getting equal rights. He's known to fear that. The man's not here to defend himself. Come on. All right, but again, on that note, you have a little bit more of a sleepless night, Pensy. But again, Isaac, you dream about it. You're holding Drake Siphon in its now transcended form. This short sword, about the size of your forearm, but at the same time, you feel like well balanced for throwing. As all of a sudden, boom, 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 boom. As again, all these dragons from the Dragonflight land around you. You see then the two biggest ones, I would say, or the biggest one and the smallest one of the bunch fly in, Nirvash and Kion. What will you do, little man? Sorry, my voice changer turns out has only a free child period, so I actually have lost access to Nirvash's voice.
Aww.
Yeah, I know, right? I got it specifically because it didn't have one, and now it does, and that makes me very mad. But yeah, that's what it is mostly. Like that dream is what kind of like wakes you up. You really only have that one, in terms of like true nightmares. You only have that one, and eventually you do find yourself going back to sleep. But yeah, everyone wakes up in the morning, and is there anything you would like to do when you wake up?
I'm gonna let everybody else speak first.
Do need to do something for you specifically, Pod. And okay. That. Okay, Isaac and Amelie, what are your passive perceptions? And Pensy, too.
24.
13.
13 and 24, okay.
And 16.
16, okay, okay. Let me pull up what this modifier is. Okay, yeah, then you're fine. Okay. Who would like to say that they woke up first out of the bunch?
Amelie probably slept in, not gonna lie.
Amelie slept in, okay. So let's roll a d4. We'll go in alphabetical order then. D4. 4. So that means it was Pensy who woke up first.
All right. Pensy struggled to sleep just with concerns about everything that's going on. May have headed downstairs early just to kind of have a little bit of time to himself and grab some breakfast and try and put his thoughts in order before everyone else woke up.
Well, as you go down the stairs, you don't. I say at the bottom of the stairs, sitting in a chair, kind of sitting at it. You do see a tall, red-headed kobold. Oh, not kobold. Furbolg. Deciding that you know what, they're gonna sit here and they are going to make sure that she catches you guys on the way down. Let's see. Go eat. And to have some chats with your new friends. As you can see her there, like tapping tapping like her finger, legs crossed there. You see that this time she's kind of like geared up. She's not wearing like the previous day. She wore this like red, I'd say this red dress with like the long sleeves to mask her prosthetic before all the shit went down. But now you can see that she's kind of decked back out.
Okay. Well, I'm just down here to get some breakfast at the moment. I don't know if any of the others are awake yet. We can talk when they get down here.
Oh, I need to have some personal talks with people before all of that happens.
Can it wait?
Not you. You're good. Go eat breakfast. Again, it's not
Okay.
I say it definitely is not a thing with you. Don't worry about that. You're good. Oh, by the way, before I forget, she flicks you something. I'd say it's fixed pretty easily, so I would say you're easily able to catch it. Take a look at what it is.
Yeah.
It is a badge of sort of this like circle with these two lines, or sorry, this line like almost like a river, like flowing down the center of it, but in the middle is an eye.
Okay.
Like, welcome to the River Watch.
Oh.
At least as a
Thank
temporary,
you.
at least as a temporary thing, if you like. You're not forced to work for us, though.
Uh, allow me a little bit of time to consider it.
Take your time. It's just if you want to be running for these and you want to get paid officially, the guild can compensate you for all your shit. It's easier to get paid that way. And you can quit at any time.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah,
What
no,
about everyone else?
complicated situation. Technically, the others joined the guild more forcibly because Argus happened upon them adventuring without a license. Which, by the way, another thing I almost forgot. As she slides you a piece of paper. A small one. Argus keeps a couple of those just in case. Just in case he has to. Just in case anybody is wanting to join, then and we won't have time to get back for a while, so that way he can send it. Send that to him. Then we can make it more permanent. I don't know whenever you'll be able to get back to Naya with the rest of the group. So, for the moment, congratulations on having a probationary adventurer's license.
I suppose I'll be needing that.
Yeah. And also, if you do decide to take me up on it, I don't think we officially had any sort of meeting. As she does stand up from the chair, and again, she's 7 feet tall, so she's like almost double your height.
Yeah.
Again, very lean, very lithe build, almost like a sprinter's build. They covered head to toe in exactly what you'd expect from a rogue, with her right arm completely covered in leather. But you saw yesterday that this is one where her right arm is actually a magical prosthetic. As she keeps several daggers in. As she does extend it out, it's like Melina. But for now, these words are going to taste like vinegar coming out of my mouth. I guess I'm the temporary boss of the River Watch. When Argus gets back, he'll have that, and I'll just be the second in command.
Well,
Melina Savannah.
I would extend a hand to shake and just be like, "I'm sorry that it's under these circumstances that you may have been promoted, but I suppose
Temporary.
congratulations."
Temporary promotion. Oh, I don't want this fucking job. And roll me a history check real quick.
Okay. Oh, that's a nat 20 on the die plus.
No, you don't need anything from the nat 20. Okay.
2.
When she says Melina Savannah, you think about the fact that you say you spent a little bit of time among like various nobility, and you spent some time in Karem. The name Melina Savannah rings a bell. This is a woman nicknamed the Copperhead, and also known as the world's deadliest woman.
Okay.
Because of the fact, again, she's widely known as an assassin, where if you see that red hair coming after you, you fucked up.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. But yeah, after that, you take your probationary license, your badge, and you head off to breakfast. Let's see, who would be next up to wake up? 3. So that is actually Josaku.
Oh.
Josaku, you see that Varys has decided to sleep in too. No, she does not. She only has a 20 index. You're actually, I think, the only character with a 22 index. I think Serena did as well because she had a manual. Well, I'm trying to see what y'all say. What the fuck? So yeah, Josaku, you do that. What would you like to do?
I'm just gonna meditate.
Meditate in the bed? Okay, as you start to meditate, is there anything you would like to speak of? Young student. Yeah, if there's anything you want to talk about, you know we're here, right? As you hear the voices of Muhan and Kaimel specifically. This is definitely not Tyr or Tempest.
Yes, actually, there is. Regarding what happened.
Then one moment. As you hear a gavel strike, and your mind is taken into the grand courtroom. As you do see Kaimel and Muhan kind of in the prosecution stands, or prosecution and bailiff stands, with Tyr in the middle. Lord Tempest is previously indisposed, but if you have any questions for any of us, Josaku, we are more than happy to answer them.
What am I to do in a situation like that? It occurred to me I could not help everyone. But should I be watching?
Save who you can. You won't ever be able to save everyone, Josaku. We fought a war for 5 years against that monster. We lost a lot of good friends. A lot of people died in a war that they knew what they were signing up for, and some ended up as casualties. Wish we could have avoided it. What matters is that you do everything in your power to save as many people as possible, and you do what it is you feel is right. I'm sorry. God damn it, Hedge. Sorry, continue. My bad.
Is that all there is to do?
I feel like that we've only answered half of your question, though. You're also wondering what do you do about fighting against your countrymen, aren't you?
Yes.
Do you know how many of the Loxodon were forced to fight for Nirvash? Or how many of are how many of the humans in what you guys end up calling Nair. A lot of them. Every time, it didn't make it any easier. We tried to leave it as more distractions, hit and run tactics, ways to destabilize things. What isn't as much an open world war as what you're going to be facing. In addition, your countrymen unfortunately aren't going to be your biggest worries on the battlefield. 10 ancient dragons. Still less than what we had to go up against, but they were more disorganized, more spread across a world. They weren't trying to conquest, they were trying to hold ground. It's much easier to conquer than it is to hold something. Especially for something that can fly and take out entire armies in one pass. Their attention is concentrated. During our days, they were divided. Split them up and take them out one by one. Muhan here slayed the ancient blue by himself, or on his, himself, not by himself. None of us were powerful enough to take down an ancient on our own.
It's not just my countrymen, it's my idols. I first picked up a sword because of Laohu.
I can't give you any advice on that front. And I'm definitely not the one to give you advice on that front. Frankly, I got exiled very young, and my father stripped of any sort of dominion he had because of opposition to some of Nirvash's higher ups. Why they ended up calling me the Wanderer King. Because of the fact that my family had that stripped from us, and is what it is. I didn't really look up to any of them as long as as long as I remember. Muhan didn't either. Frankly, the one person who could talk to you about that currently unconscious.
I understand.
Because the only one because while a couple of us did work for Nirvash, y'all don't have any of those. Raldos does, though.
I see.
Khan, before he was one of the first members of the Primarchs, was actually was an aspirant to the position of High Mage of the Black Empire. He was considered a prodigy, one who would even surpass, and he eventually did. Still the most talented mage I've ever seen. The reason that they even named the title after him.
Well, if it comes down to it.
If it comes down to it, you can try to disable and arrest your idols. From what I understand from reading your memories, they hold high positions of power and influence, using them as political hostages or people that if you end up winning, or when you end up winning, they'll need people who are in positions of power that would be willing to work with the other countries to rebuild Sapphire. To help pick up the pieces, more or less. Not every aspect of war has to be an execution, if you can avoid it.
Yes, that
In
is
addition,
true.
some members of them didn't look like they were actively trying to kill people. Remember, Josaku, Primal and I are among the two most experienced warriors among the Primarchs in terms of pure battle prowess. I can honestly say that at least one member of the Sterlings were not attacking with deadly intent, but merely attacking to protect.
That is reassuring. I would like to train more today.
You can
If
do
it
that
is
while you're
alright.
asleep. But also, you didn't even ask who that member was.
I feel I already know.
Over the table, who are you thinking it was?
Lahu?
Yep.
Let's go.
Notice the only person he attacked was Durin, who is actively attacking Kion. Everyone else made a move to like kill nobles or attack the attack other members. The only person now who attacked is the person who is actively attacking the Empress.
Okay, got it.
And yeah, you did make a good guess there, but that would have been you would have hoped that was it. I wouldn't say that you would have actually noticed what he was doing in the middle of the battle because you kind of had your own shit to deal with. But I would say right now Josaku would have that hope that it was him. There is one person you can actively that you know because you got to look at it that it wasn't, and that was Misao. But
yeah.
you also kind of like again you know Masao well enough because also again he was a rival to Yamato before he ascended to Sterling and he surpassed Yamato. And again, a guy named the Silver Slayer that's kind of like a default like royal executioner. Not exactly someone who you'd expect to be playing defense.
Right.
Yeah. But I would say most of the rest of them you didn't really get a good look at what was going on except for Masao because you would have seen the thing where he used the bow light blade. What's up, Pod?
I didn't say anything.
Okay, I saw your thing flash, so I wasn't sure. Okay. Well, with that, Josaku, do you have any other questions?
No more.
Then we will
Not
allow
right
you to,
now.
then we will allow you to return.
Alright.
As you return from your meditation, you open your eyes to see Varys waking up. Ugh. What do you say we go down and get some breakfast before all this shit kicks off today? We all know it's gonna kick off.
Yeah, that sounds good. Right about now.
Fake Varys.
Well, I can't do the inflection of Hedge. I'm not good at imitations.
Freaking pod person. Body
Pod person? Body snatcher? What the fuck?
snatcher. Don't trust him. He's sus. I saw him vent. Anyway, continue.
Mark! No, actually, next up would be you.
Can we go back to Hedge?
Actually, wait, you're right. There is something with Josaku and Varys that happened. Varys and Josaku would walk down the stairs, and y'all would see Melina cross-legged, tapping her finger at the bottom of the stairs. You two. Go on and get breakfast. We'll talk about, we'll figure out the next steps, and I'll be with you guys on any of the meetings with the world leaders as it is. I was saying when that happens. Wow, it's weird giving orders, but it's good to give orders to you, as she points at Varys. Hey, what are you talking about? It's like, remember, Squirt, I'm currently your boss. The whole clouding doesn't work with me.
Cloud is real.
Cloud is real.
I want to salute to Melina.
So the Riverwatch salute is like that kind of, or like the kind of like Nyrian things like that. So yeah, don't say you do that. Like, don't do that. No, that makes me feel kind of gross.
Understood.
Like wearing someone else's shoes when they're too big for you. All right, as you two head off to breakfast. So, Pod, you're saying that you want to go last?
I would like that. Yeah, please.
Okay. Well, in that case, Next up will be Phil when he gets back from helping out his dad. Pensy, you as you are sitting there eating breakfast, you do see Varys and Josaku sitting there, and or you see Varys and Josaku walk in.
Is the Furbolg still here?
Melina, no, she's back in the say at the bottom of the stairs where they were.
Okay.
You would be in the mess hall right now.
I would probably just be like, "Good morning."
Josaku.
Morning.
That Phil back. Okay, cool. As y'all begin talking, Isaac,
Hello?
as you start to wake up, so want to talk?
Wait, am I talking to?
What's in your head? This is the voice of Mask.
Talk about what?
Anything, everything. Kind of just saw a world war break out. It's gonna. I say, imagine you want to talk to somebody.
Well, I know what I need to do. I need to go hunt down an empress.
Fair enough. By the way, I'm proud of you. You've ascended my dagger, or transcended my dagger to its true form. That is the first time that it's been in that form in about 10,000 years. No one since since Serena has been able to level up. Has been able to get that thing to that point.
Yeah, I am kind of great, huh?
I mean, who would have thought that the blood of an ancient dragon was the hardest to get? Though technically, I will say you got it on a technicality. But you know what they say about being technically correct?
It's still correct?
It's the best kind of correct.
Alright, well, I'm starving. I had terrible nightmares. I'm gonna go get something to eat.
Fair enough. I want to check your pocket.
I check my pocket.
As you feel a familiar circular thing in your pocket. Pull it out.
Yeah.
Eye symbol with the river running through the sides.
I toss it again.
That roll I had y'all do for passive, or that thing for passive perception. Yeah. By the way, you don't remember going to sleep with that in your pocket.
Yeah, I know.
You kind of get what happened.
I assume Melina did it or he did.
She rolled really well on passive. I'll say on sleight of hand and stealth.
Well, I'm gonna go downstairs to go get food.
At the bottom of the stairs, you do see Melina.
Yeah, I know. I knew it was going.
Ah, Isaac.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
Depends. Did you toss what I left you again?
Yep.
Look, I get why you're wanting out. Do me a favor. Give me 2 weeks time, right? Call in a favor, and after that point, you can do whatever the hell you want. But in the meantime, as she pulls out another one, you could hang on to this until until those favors come through. It would be greatly appreciated. Easy, I'll say, to work on everything. I'm not gonna try and boss you around. I'm not gonna try and give you give you orders on how to live your life, right? But at the same time, It hasn't been that terribly long since you were borderline under arrest for that.
I
Let me get some calls. Let me get in touch with some people. Get you a pass for it. All right. Get out of jail free card. Say clean slate. All right. Meantime, though, you will need this. I know you don't want it. I don't like pushing it on you. She puts it in between her fingers and extends it out to you. Can you humor me
No
for 2
thanks.
weeks?
Nah, I'm good.
Right. Don't say I didn't warn you, alright?
What's the worst they're gonna do? Like lock me up or something?
Possibly.
Nah, I've more than made up for my dues.
Yes, and that's why I was saying that if you give me 2 weeks, I can get you an official pardon for anything, and any previous crimes too. But you also kind of went back to an old name that basically is only giving you so that you're only exempt from stuff that Isaac Beecher did because of the fact that you're in the River Watch right now. However, if you give me that time period, I can have you an out from all of it. All right?
Now let's see if they can catch me, and then I go get breakfast.
I don't. All right. Uh, Amelie,
Yeah.
you wake up. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And as you do, you sort of like sit up and you notice something sitting next to your say next to your spell book and your staff, uh, beside your bed.
Quite frankly, I don't even know how she would react beyond Fireball at this point.
No. It's the river. It's a River Watch badge.
Okay. Well, she takes it.
It's not. It's not. I would say it's not anything scary. Again, it's just Melina rolled a 34 on stealth and a 25 on sleight of hand.
I don't know, man. Everything feels like it's gonna be an ambush. Yeah, she takes her badge. Um, yeah, she takes her badge.
We didn't get to talk much about anything last night, kid.
Um,
Anything you want to get off your chest? Big man and Dickhead McGee kind of gave you a little bit of the runaround.
um, not really anything I can think of. Maybe later. Like, I can't really think of anything to say. Like, as a player, like it'd be nice, but I can't think of anything right
No
now.
worries. And it's like, well, Star's not much of a conversationalist, so we kind of elected that I'd be the one to talk to you if you need to talk. That is no offense, by the way. It is simply that I do not feel I can relate enough properly give you any sort of assistance.
I'll I'll talk to either of these guys later. I'm sorry.
Oh no,
I,
you're fine. And they said it's like, hey, we're just here to do it. Also, yeah, no, Eric's voice is really fun to do because it's actually not that hard.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Uh,
understand. Maybe I'll talk to him later. Just I'm not
okay,
feeling it right
that's
now.
fine. Um, Ferris, what's up, Hedge? If you were talking, I cannot hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Is it tired? Long day at work?
Hey, I feel that. I think we're all there tonight. That's why it's gonna be like a little bit of a chill session. We're not gonna like anything too heavy, and it's not gonna take too terribly long. Just wanted to get something in that because everybody's here. Um. So first of all, new stream layout. Second of all, as you wake up, you do hear a voice saying, "Well, lad, you want to speak about anything?"
I mean,
Wanted to give you a proper night's sleep.
well, the world's going to shit. Half the world's going to be at war.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's how I'm feeling right now.
understandable. If you do
I
need to talk, I know Osmond and Garrus will both be available.
Oh shit! Hey, Grandpa, how's it going?
I have a feeling that I am in a better mood than you are, young man.
That's fair. You probably saw what I saw.
That I did.
I think our number one priority right now is eh, probably head out and locate some more reveries before Nirwash gets his hand on more of them. Get the other whatchamacallit, other guild leaders some reveries. I'm sure they could use some. And then finding Argus too.
I would imagine the latter would be the most immediate thing.
My old man's strong enough. He probably isn't gonna die wherever he is.
It's not for say as you do pull say as you do hear say as you do say that you feel like your eyes roll back into the back of your head. As you feel like even just sitting there you are pulled into the realm of Valkyr. Not his well-being that's the worry, lad. Remember your father is a symbol. It'd be a lot better for morale if the world's strongest man was leading any sort of was leading any sort of fight.
Mm.
How many world leaders do you think have any actual action? How many military men do you think actually have seen true adversity? Your father's slayed a red dragon with his, by himself.
No, yes, I understand that. That's why I was planning on dropping off my sending orb with Melina, and
Well,
she can probably, especially with all the resources here in the Arcanum, and and with the rune readers, she can probably she can probably figure out where he is faster than I can.
there. But also all of them are needed here. Not much. I say there's not much that y'all could do better than it would be to find Argus. Who knows? If you're lucky, you'll be in a plane where there's a reverie. Who better to help you find and pass trials than, well, him? With that, I'm gonna let you have your morning. As you pull out of it, you start to wake up and you see that Josaku is also like kind of in a little bit of a trance before his eyes kind of like roll back forward too, and you see him do it. As you'll after I'll get ready, walk downstairs. You do see Melina sitting at the bottom of the stairs, and she's saying, "Go on to breakfast. I'll catch up."
Before I go, I toss her my sending orb, and I just say, "Sending orb." It goes straight to Argus.
She tosses it back real quick and says, "Hold on to that for now. Where you guys go, I'm going."
Doesn't the Overwatch need you though?
I meant for now. The immediate thing, they're going to do. They're going to help us find Argus, whether they like it or not. That's happening today. I don't give a shit what anybody else says. I'm not leaving that. That building, that fucking Arcanum building, until they do what I want. Remember, I'm the acting eye of Nair. With that comes a little bit of pull, including the direct ear of the Uniter. A lot of political pressure if Sprinfall can't help recover someone who would be a pivotal morale and strategic leader with a world war about to be declared.
Makes sense.
Also, I don't want them trying to pull you guys in 6 different directions, pull you back to whatever countries you'll come from. Anybody comes from. I don't care what they say. The Anaborans right now are not going to pull you along like a puppet. You don't have a choice in this matter, Josaku. No offense. I'm not letting them pull along Amelie in the Sprint Folly, and we'll see Isaac's react. If Isaac is willing to take a deal, I'm going to give him. Spoiler alert. He did. This is above the table. Spoiler alert. He did not. So we'll see about consequences there. So yeah. After that, I would say y'all probably go after breakfast, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right, as y'all
Definitely.
do. After that, the whole thing with Isaac happens. Amelie.
Mm-hmm.
After you get done with a little chat with Erix and Thar, you do walk down the stairs and see Melina at the bottom of the stair, cross-armed, tapping her arm on, tapping her fingers, cross-legged. So,
She mostly ignores her and goes to get breakfast
ah,
ready.
Amelie, come on, need to have a little talk real quick.
Sighs, approaches.
See what I left for you?
She nods.
Do you still want to leave?
Still thinking about it, but no. You have a point.
If you do decide you want to leave, talk directly to me, all right? Try to tell Isaac. If you do, give me a couple weeks, and I can have pardons for your for any past transgressions, your whole adventuring without a license thing. Keep it under the rug. None of it ever happened.
She gives a soft little smile and says thank you.
Welcome. Isaac made a good point. You'll have done enough. It's just right now, I can't guarantee that enough will be will help you to get out of trouble until I can get something official written in ink. If I have an official pardon in hand, life becomes a lot easier.
Politics.
There's a reason I don't want to be boss. And that's just in general with the River Watch. As she does hold up like a different version of the sigil. This one is more like this, whereas like most of them are plated with this like almost like uh brass kind of thing. She's holding up a golden one with a emerald in the middle of it.
Well, ain't that just fancy?
Fucking hate that. There's a reason Argus doesn't wear it much. It looks gaudy as shit. But he left it in his bag, so been avoiding putting it on all morning. God, that feels. God, that feels. Go eat breakfast when y'all are done. Tell the others, everyone come back out and meet me. I'm not letting y'all leave my sight today.
She nods and goes, tries to.
Oh, and You can come out now. Maya, then you see steps out of the shadows. Go eat with them. You're not. Oh, so you're not getting out of this that easy.
Look, very excited to be eating with Maya for the simple fact that she doesn't really look excited about anything.
Yeah,
After,
Maya looks more scared than anything else.
yeah.
As with everyone, you see Maya and Amelie walk up.
Maya.
Hello, senpai. Melina said to come and do that. You now see that Melina has basically moved over to the corner of the room. And you can tell she's kind of giving that stare around anybody who walks within like 5 feet of her to give her a wide berth. See people look at her like, oh shit. But yeah, is there anything you would like to talk about over breakfast?
How are you holding up, Maya?
Can I be holding up? Country declared, say our country declared war on everyone. My mother and sister are missing. With God's knowing where they are, and I was woken up by guards trying to beat down my. I was trying to basically break down my door with how loud their knocks were until I heard the lock being picked, only to find Melina walking outside and guys going in the other direction. She scares me. No. Actually, Maya was hiding in the shadows where Melina could keep an eye on her. And then now she walked over with Amelie to join you at the breakfast table. Amelie.
Yeah.
You would notice that there are people like shooting say if they're walking by, they are now shooting looks over at Josaku and Maya. You would notice this with your passive perception.
Mm-hmm. She's probably gonna give them looks too. She's not really in the mood for anybody's shit, even if they're not really looking at her.
I would say.
Does Varus notice this?
What's your passive perception?
It's a 15.
No, you do not. Amelie's is like 25. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just glances. It's not like they're not like pointing at you guys or anything. They're just like shooting glances. Nobody's really like talking much to each other.
Oh
But
yeah.
you also
I
notice
figured.
that people are giving like. I would say that you also notice that people are giving your table a wide berth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. This isn't putting her in a good mood. She's just gonna try and enjoy her breakfast in silence.
Roll me a d20.
Okay.
Thirteen. Okay. I would say at some point you do end up meeting eyes with one of the people who's like shooting a dirty look at Josaku, or like kind of like staring at Josaku and Maya as they walk by, as they would walk by, and in return, I would say that when they meet your eyes, you kind of give them this look as in back, say back off, bitch, or else we're going to have a problem. And I'd say you do a little like thing where it puts a little bit of fire behind your eyes.
Oh yeah, I can do thaumaturgy and pull that off.
Oh, not even thaumaturgy. You're the champion of the fire of the primordial fire titan, or the primordial of fire. You don't need thaumaturgy to do that, light show.
Fair enough.
Just like how Isaac doesn't need it to turn his eyes say his irises completely black. Or Varys doesn't for his stuff either. Like, there's like some like light show tricks about that. I mean, yeah. It's more so like shit! I realized that I did forget to tell you about that when you were having your conversation with Illigith. At one point, the pupils of your eyes would have turned either like one black, or the irises of your eyes would turn like one jet black and the other like this like radiant green. Yours isn't lightning. One eye would turn like this radiant purple, and the other would turn this electric blue, like the same color as Godrazor.
Mm.
Varys's would turn like one of them would turn like a ocean blue, and it would start like changing between like that blue and green. It wouldn't exactly glow perchance, but it would turn from like his usual brown to that, and then the other one would have like this icy effect kind of go on it.
It's cute that you put the thought into it.
Yeah, no, it's like this whole. It's one of those things like you kind of have to put your intent into it. It's not a permanent thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like for you, whenever you're pissed off, it does it. So it could do it. Like, I would say like when you're like pushing your intent into that, say into that stare, your eyes would light up with the fire. Isaac would have done it already. I wouldn't say that Varys or Josaku would have noticed it yet because they haven't really had moments of strong emotion since the ability was like kind of gained more or less. But I would say that Pod, Amelie wouldn't exactly be able to do the green one, but that's also because she doesn't have that connection with Sylvanas that's like that tight. Like it's more of like
That's fine.
you hold his power, but like there's not that connection like there is with everyone, like all the other gods, and even with like between you and Kosseth.
I get it.
There's not that mutual thing there. But yeah, nah. I mean, you are the main characters, literally. So yeah, with that, does anyone else have a passive perception over 16?
Mine's at 16.
Yours
Same.
is at 16. Yours is at 16. Okay, it needed to be over 16. So I guess I should have said it at 17 or over. I would say afterwards, if you meet eyes with Melina at some point, Amelie, she gives you a... that. How the fuck does Melina have higher passive perception than you? Jesus Christ. What did I say? How did that happen? Okay, whatever. So yeah, after you finish breakfast, everyone as you're walking to get up and do it. Melina, obviously standing by the door. All right, everyone. Who's ready to go talk with people that are too stupid not to throw a giant ass wedding where all the world leaders will be there? Really? No one?
Can I
Me
say
neither.
no?
Amelie feels really bad because she actually really enjoyed the wedding.
Sorry. Like she does notice your discomfort, and it's like, sorry, didn't mean offense to your friend. It was more talking about everyone else deciding to show up for world leaders. Even though I know there's politics there I don't understand, I don't care. It was stupid. The
She
reason
just-
I kept all of these as he pops up, and on her arm you see that like basically several slides open. She has probably like 6 slides in her arm for various types of daggers. That's why I kept all those on me.
She sighs and kind of brushes everything aside and says, "It's okay. Let's not worry."
Right. Well, off we go then, everyone. As you'll hit the streets of Thorn, you do notice that there has been a heavy increase in guards around. It seems like whereas while there was still a strong guard presence beforehand, it was more guard duty, like protection detail. Now it seems more like a wariness, almost like a true police presence, if that makes sense. Like a very, very visible one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
As y'all make your way over down the streets of sprint fall. Eventually, you do get to this massive building where it looks like it has this swirling construction almost off above. So you do notice that it is like a little bit above, almost like as if there's a ring of clouds, this fog below it. And Amelie, you would recognize this as the Arcanum, the building itself.
Mm-hmm.
You also see that there's a set of guards like every 100 feet now, and that two of the normal entrances or walkways to it have been closed off. You see that there's actually like gaps in it where it seems almost like the stone is just not there. What music did I give to this? This is way too upbeat. It is what it is. So yeah, as you'll start to walk up, eventually there are guards wielding like these big ass, obviously radiating magical weapons there, as they also like hold out like their hands as if to potentially cast a spell at you. Who's trying to enter before they see the badge on Melina's chest? I am Nair. You're not Argus Bane. No, I'm not. I'm the temporary one. Well, he's off on another world. Now, are you going to let me in, or else are we going to have to let ourselves in? Look, I'm just trying to do my job. I know, but right now your job is to move the fuck out of my way. I'm not in a good mood, and I doubt any of these men or women behind me are either. So you'll let them in. And then they noticed Maya and Josakuma back. You know you have Imperials with you, right? Yes, I do. They're here to see them as well. I can personally vouch for them. If there are any issues, you can have them. You can take it up with the Uniter. Otherwise, as she now gets right up, close to us, and goes up to them, literally picks up the handles of their axes, spreads them open because again she towers over them. You move the fuck out of our way. While holding the guy who she was talking to axe back, she does this faux bow. Guys. Everybody kind of just walk on by as she's doing this thing.
Yeah, I guess so. If she's already taken care of it, then sure.
Yeah, no, she's like physically holding up, and you can see the guy like trying to wrest the axe away, but you realizing that again, she's got like a foot on him.
Yeah, I do.
She's kind of a lot stronger than he is, just physically. Going back, everybody leading in. As you do see from the front now, as y'all enter, there are guards that are now watching y'all as y'all go in. But in going inside, in the lobby, you do recognize someone familiar. As y'all do see Andilius. They're in the lobby of the building. Well, about time you got here. And all of you. Hope you all slept well. How's the situation in there, Andilius? Not great. But it is what it is. Let's try not to make it any worse, shall we? As it leads you in, you see that there are guards walking by, but any that come up to talk to you, you basically see them get to there, but then they see like, and they just kind of like carve a path. And you do see several of them start to follow you guys eventually. Y'all notice that by the time y'all had made it down this long hallway where there are a bunch of branching rooms off to either side, that there are now like 10 guards following you guys. Eventually y'all are letting say you do run into this room with this massive set of doors. You doing it as Andilius says, "Allow me." As he basically like bangs a staff of power on it. Y'all are let in, and you'll see this giant chamber. This one doesn't like really convey as much. You do see, but down across the road, say across the lane, you do see that there is this sort of like section of various like tables with different world leaders at it. You do see that there is a set of 10 chairs in a semicircle and in at the front. Right now, 2 of them are unoccupied, and there is a larger chair in the center. Currently, Venhana is sitting in it. If you have a perception over 13, all right, you would notice that there are a couple of sets of world leaders who were at the wedding that are not present currently. Namely, the ones that are not present currently are the Kuramis and the Yaliri. You also notice that like the Cooties table looks like it hasn't been used ever. As you walk in, it's like, allow me to restate this, Prince Durin. But as of yesterday, I am Khaness of this country. So while you are here, you will behave yourself, and you will treat me with the respect of an acting head of state at the moment. I have the permission of any of the Arcanum to speak with Raldos's voice, and they will back me up in every bit of this. So I suggest that you do as I ask, and you wait until they get here, and then we will deal with it. Hello. Welcome everyone to the Arcanum. As you do see Durin turns back, he's like, finally. And he goes back and sits to his family's table. Please, everyone. If someone could have some chairs brought for the Wickermen. They'll be sitting next to us, Con S. I know. As expected. As again, all these leaders are sitting there and doing it. You all also know that like some members of each delegation are not there. You notice for the dwarfs, in particular, Genria isn't there. Right now it is just Admore and Volgren, the Grand Duke and like his like chief guard. For the Anaborans, all 3 of them are there, but Chaz is not there. Hedge, you say Varys would recognize that. Isaac would notice that the only person in the Nyrian section right now is Illigith. No one else is there. And again, Amelie would notice that the on the Arcanum, the seats that are missing are designated with the Sprint Folly number 5 and the Sprint Folly number 8. I don't know what that means. Discuss. Oh. I haven't seen Inside Out. So yeah, you're doing that as your seats are brought there. Can I ask simply, what is she doing here? As over at the I would say, and a better question, what is she doing here? As his first pointing was at Rie over at the Imperial table. In addition, the second one was to Maya, who is also kind of like seated at the Imperial table. They are here as guests at my wedding that appeared to fight on the side of those defending against Nirvash. They were trying to evacuate civilians and assist in taking down some of the necromantic dragons that the kobold known as Karn did. So kindly, Prince Durin, I will remind you that we will speak and we will present opinions in a moment once we have this. Once everything is settled. Now, let us all address the elephants in the room. I believe everyone in this room, as well as the Kuramis and the Illyri, have agreed to declare war on the Empire. Now, what our next steps are. Under advisement from Admiral Arcane Ermos, he advised that our first priority should be reclaiming the three members that we will need to help lead in the fight. Lawbringer Thiel, Dragon Lord Serenel, and I am Argus Bane. Does anyone object to this decision? And you hear a little bit of murmuring, but nobody really speaks up. Good. Now, as you know, my husband did cast a spell thought a myth. He is still not awake, but over the night I did have some scribes check archives. It appears that in the old days after that spell was used, apparently the cost was usually great on the caster. It appears he will be unconscious for at least the next 2 days, if not more. Whether or not he wakes up will be up to the gods. Lord Ermos, I defer the rest of this to you. Thank you, Conas. Now, as for our military attempts, that can be discussed when certain individuals are no longer in this room. No offense intended to you, Lady Kawasumi. As Rie, that indicating Rie. However, we need to be sure of your allegiances before anything else can be done. Now, Wickermen of Nair. As all eyes in the room turn to you. There are ways to detect things, but you all, as well as you, Nairian delegation, do have the option. Do have a obligation here to help. To help in some way, given your status as champions of gods. Do any of you have anything connection with Argus Bane? That way we can contact him and and make attempts to reach out to him and
I have
deliver
an
him
orb
home.
of I have an orb of sending that goes directly to him.
That is perfect. We can use that to trace down the plane of which he is, and then use a process to
I talked to
teleport
him
you there.
last night. He's in a plane full of books, is what he said. He said that there was something else in there with him.
A place full of books. Unfortunately, that does not exactly narrow it down. By the way, the guy talking, just so that way everybody remembers. Again, this is the number 2 of the Arcanum, the one that Edge said looked really cool. This is Ermos. He's the Lord Second of the Arcanum, second in command, in charge of the Sprint Volley military. All that jazz.
I've got to use the restroom.
Hey, go for it. Well then, get to trying to find out which plane, and we will in each country will put something to help assist in getting these three back. Is there not going to be one large task force organized to go to each one by one? Would that not be more beneficial, sending one in a small group after each individual one? The person who just spoke up is the Dragon Queen, Indamira. As you can see, Durin was about to speak up, but his mother basically extended a hand out and beat him to the punch. That would only slow it. Those 3, given their military experience and their prowess in battle, would be, the faster we get all 3 of them back, the better. Champions of the Gods, I will give you your option, the option as to whether or not you be the ones to pursue Argus Bane, or whether or not you stay here and try to defy any sort of war effort be it for Nair or for your home country. At this mentioning, all right, you do see, uh, but one of the counselors actually stands up. It is. I clicked the wrong button. This is Nilobal, the older one of the counselors. Uh, Varys, if you remember the one that like you didn't get along with nearly as much, whereas Baven was kind of like again the kind of bro one. He was the younger, charismatic one, and Cassandra was the one with their experience. Nilo Ball was more of the business guy. Now, given the dragon's attack, wouldn't it be beneficial for every country to have some champion of the gods defend themselves, especially ones that belong to them? At this mention, you guys hear a loud stabbing motion onto the table. You turn around and hear Melina say, "Thanks for your attention. Shouldn't you ask him?" Yes.
Right now, I think our best option is bringing 3 of the strongest people back.
Have it, counselor. Vanna, if you don't mind keeping, say, having them not make decisions on my people, that would be awesome. As in Vanna gets a look, it's like, why the fuck are you pulling me into this? From there, then that is what we should, what we will do. Given the fact that you are champions of the gods, you will have the option of who to first. Say, or who you all will. Dragon Lord Serenel is the most valuable. Or I'll say Lawbringer Thiel has the most uh, magical power. But Argus Bane is the new person have a connection to. Any of the three is up to it, but I will leave it up to you question as to what it is. Meantime, military strategy we discussed after this rescue effort done. What say you, Wickermen of Nair? This is a like open question to you guys, so you are free to discuss among yourselves for a moment.
Can you, like, just so I could get what did he what was he asking of us, Hyper?
He's asking you whether or not y'all wanted to quickly join the war effort, or whether y'all wanted to go after one of the three people that are currently in other planes, that being Thiel, Serenel, and Argus. And if you did chose to go after one, or if you wanted to pursue another course of action, they would send somebody else after those three. What y'all are planning to do?
Hmm. Hmm. What do you guys want to do?
Well, I'm relatively new here, but I'd prefer not to immediately join the war effort. Outside of that, I don't really care.
I think we should probably get Pensy a reverie at least, right? Or maybe two.
I like that idea too.
While we say, if you'd also like to save your decision as to whether or not to hunt more of the primal reveries until after we discern which planes the three, say the three that were lost are on, mayhaps one of the reveries that you are looking for could be on one of those planes, and it be a twofold trip.
I'm back. Did I miss anything important?
Um,
Ermos gave y'all a choice to see. It's like, what are y'all wanting to do? He's basically giving deference to y'all, as champions of the gods. He understands like y'all are chess pieces on the board that kind of need to be. Y'all are foreign nationals except for you, and he knows not to like exert any sort of orders to you. Um, uh, and he's trying to see like what is y'all's course of action, because things need to be done, and he's trying to figure out, okay, the champions of the gods are going to handle something. I need to figure out what that something is. That way we can plan around it.
Okay.
What he just suggested was, would you like to wait and make a decision until after the planes that Argus, Serenel, and Thiel are on, and then make your decision as to what to do?
Do we know what deity is contacting you, Pensy?
I can't remember at the moment. We don't know for sure, but we had an inclination, right?
You did.
Yeah.
Caretaker suggested that the image that Pensy saw most likely resembled Denier, the god of scribes, storytellers, and mental acuity.
Right.
Y'all think that sounds like a place with a bunch of books around it?
no idea.
If we're correct, I imagine it would probably be something
If I
like that.
may. As you do see one of the members of the Arcanum speak up. There is, I'll say, overhearing it, the god Denir's divine realm is a place called the Library of All Knowledge. It is its. It is on a plane of, I'll say, its own. I'll say a plane of itself. It is in the Outlands. Given your inclination, I'll say, given your description of where Argus Bane, it certainly could be that.
Well, it would certainly be worth the gamble. Either we're correct and he is there and we achieve two objectives at once, or we're wrong and we still do something we need to.
That is fair.
Yeah, I'm down.
All right. Well then, if that is your decision, we will we will discern Argus Bane's location first, and then allow you to decide from, along with precedingly Lord Serenel's and then Lawbringer Thiel's, and then we will tell you where they are from there. Then we will give discernments from there. Now that that business has been concluded, I believe we need to go through the process that we discussed earlier. Yes, we do. As she stands up, and she does. You can see that she is. I'll say that open on the thing is this green bound book that y'all have become familiar with, being Khan's Legacy. See, she's not going to touch it. She's almost afraid to, but saying, as the Khaness of Sprinfall, I hold a vote with I motion a vote between the members of the Arcanum to declare war on the Sapphire Empire and the dragon known as Nirvash, as well as any of their allies and those who would stand in the way of world peace. Do I have a second? Of course. All in favor? As you see, everyone raise their hand. All the members of the Arcanum. Oh, I'm sorry. There's 3 seats empty. I forgot that Zorlik dipped. So there's only 7 seats taken right now. 6 of whom are actually Arcanum members, and then Venhana. It is unanimous. Also, a warrant for the arrest of the traitor and former member of the Arcanum, Zorlik Dan, the former, director of finance and commerce in, in Springfall, has been issued. A bounty will be set at 100,000 gold for him brought back alive, and 75,000 if he is brought back dead to the Springfall, to the Springfall Connacht. As you then hear other members as they look. The Kiridusi Federation hereby declares war on the Sapphire Empire, her allies, and anyone else that would stand in the way of world peace, as well as the dragon Nirvash. The Nyrian Union declares war on the Sapphire Empire, her allies, the dragon Nirvash, and any others who would stand in the way of world peace. The Runadavian Dominion declares war on the Sapphire Empire, the dragon Nirvash, and any who would stand in the way of world peace. The Ceredrian Union declares war on the Sapphire Empire, her allies, the dragon Nirvash, and anyone who would stand in the way of world peace. The Golshamite Brotherhood declares a temporary, renounces all trade agreements with the Sapphire Empire in lieu of a declaration of war by the Brotherhood itself. As they all nod it and look towards it, then it is it. Then we are all unanimous in this united front. Honest, yes, and okay. Well, the Brotherhood works different. Okay. The Uniter has the power to declare war in that one, as does the Grand Duke of the Federation. But the leader of the Brotherhood does not. He has to go back and actually consult with the other leaders of the Brotherhood. Basically, it's like a national vote. They have to hold an emergency vote to declare war. Hey, look, I'm sorry for writing stuff like that. What's it? And now we have to figure out what to do with you two. As all eyes look towards Rie and Maya. Should they not be questioned? Surely they know something because they did come here with the rest of the Imperial delegation, did they not? As this Rie stands up. I did not know anything about any sort of attempt to do that. Yeah, Phil, that voice is Admiral Boldfront. That is the guy whose voice I based on Vegeta. Because I can do a Vegeta impression. I know it's not good, but at the same time, I can do the cadence of Vegeta. Victory for Vegeta! Because, you know, he and Garam have a Goku-Vegeta rivalry. I did not know anything about my Empress's plan, about the Empress's plan to do that. I would say, as of right now, I am cut off and I have no concrete way home. I stand with the people of the world. I do not agree with any war, especially when I was not privy to. Maya stands up, and I can guarantee that my mother and sister also had nothing to do with this. I had no inclination of any sort of thing with this war, and I even stood to help protect the members at the wedding. So the fact that there would be any sort of inclination as to where my loyalties lie, Commander Boldfront, is quite a bold and offensive and ignorant accusation. Do you really think it's a good idea to backtalk right now, say Imperial Girl? You're not in exactly the best position. Shing! That is Lady Maya Saito. Do you add more? As again, Melina kind of like stabbed it. Miss Savannah, if you could please stop damaging Arcanum property with your blade, with your blades, that would be greatly appreciated. Oh, as if there wasn't enough damage to the city already. I will let that's You are right. However, what is done, and there is nothing we can do except for try to handle the situation that we are in now. Wickermen of Nair, you are all dismissed. The Khan S. If they're going, I'm going to. You are needed to help discuss the war effort. Then they can stay too. What's the what's the matter? Khan S? Afraid the little girl you married isn't ready for war? As you can see, Vincon is getting a little bit annoyed. Fine. So they tried to. Then I would say there's a lot of boring like wartime discussion and whatnot. Eventually, as they convene, it is actually no say fuck is her 1 moment. Nakria, the blue tiefling I posted a little bit before, she says, if you would like, I am about to go and do the process where we try to identify where the three that were lost are. If you all would appreciate accompanying me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jose. That was not the intention.
Oh, it's fine.
It's just we had the whole thing last week of Melina saying that she would have Maya's back.
Oh, I understand. I just think it's funny.
Yeah. No, that's not. I promise, it's not trying to steal your flow. It's that again, she made you that promise last week, and she's trying to keep it.
Yeah.
If you all would like to accompany me, I would like to go as well, if you do not mind. As you hear behind you, Durin, you see off in the distance, Durin is having a discussion with Indamira, who is basically like Hannah Shes, like saying, like, get yourself together. It is actually Tamar who is walking up with you guys, the princess of the Runadavian Dominion. I would like to know where my father is, and I believe I would be much more calm than my brother would in the situation. I would be happy to accompany you. Does everyone go with her?
Sure.
Yeah.
Find out where Argus is? Okay.
Mhm.
All right. As Melina also accompanies you guys. Y'all make your way over to another wing of the Arcanum. I'm just gonna go to, and say to the building as a whole. Before running to the room where you see a lot of mages around, and they're doing some, basically they have these magic circles set up to detect various forms of, of magic. Just because I don't remember what the spell is off the top of my head, I think I had it written somewhere, but I don't want to waste the time going to look for it. We'll say that it is a spell that can detect where people are across planes. It can tell what general plane they're in and give you a general location. They have 3 circles set up, and you see, if you don't mind, Varus Rivers, if I could have that orb of sending.
I toss it over to her.
And if you all have anything else that belonged to Argus Bane, it would be the more that you have, the easier to pinpoint his location. Given we don't know the size of the plane in which he is currently stranded, there's no guarantee that it will be able to give us any sort of closer location. Melina takes off the Ibnire badge, hands to her. Try that. This should be plenty. But if anybody has anything else, I can give you more accurate locations. Nobody has anything?
I don't think Argus ever gave us anything except for Hedge. Or Varys.
All
Yeah,
right.
gave me an apartment.
Let's go to your apartment, dude.
All right. Going once.
Oh,
Going
I
twice.
could give the folding. I can give the folding boat if that works. I don't know if that. That was a
That
gift
would
from him.
that would not. 3
Oh, I
times.
think I know what Hyper's talking about. Jose, give Godfrey's up.
Oh, of course. How did I forget that?
Gotta give
I was about to say, it's like,
Godfrey
I'm waiting for Jose to jump in and say, it's like, hey, I have his sword.
Well, technically, it's now Jisaku's sword, but
Yes, but
That's what I was thinking.
I was gonna do that. And again, if y'all didn't get it in before I got to the count of 1, I was gonna say, okay, too late.
Can I change the form of Gauss Racer?
No.
I can't.
No, the
Damn.
blade basically, once it finds its owner, it basically conforms to that owner. It doesn't like change shape on a whim. It more so it finds what you would find an ideal sword. Like your idea of a perfect sword is what it turns into. That's why again, like its 2 versions looked like this, like for you and for Argus, because of course like you would prefer, the katana with a longer handle, that way you can two-hand it, whereas Argus would prefer that hand and a half like long sword that he can do again, 2 double wield long swords. All right, so now that you have Argus, that actually does increase the accuracy for her. If y'all didn't give a God Razor for that, let's just say fetch quest time. The quest is to find Argus. So with that, now y'all have I was saying y'all have done that. Tamar gives over several artifacts relating to her, and Nakria puts down several artifacts relating to Thiel. All right. So as she starts casting the spell, as well as there are others who are casting the spells, there are locations. I need to pull that up because this is important. This and then this goes to here. All right. So one of the one on the left, which is indicated for Thiel, does actually show something a little bit familiar to you guys. It actually shows a endless jungle as far as the eye can see. It shows you this large, expanding almost forest of trees. But that's not what makes it familiar to you. What makes it familiar to you is the shape and position of the sun. And the fact that off in the far distance there are these trees that tower over everything. This sort of sky that brings forth this form of familiarity to you. Even the birds, they don't look like normal birds that you would find in Abilene, but they have this eerie form of familiarity to you. As you do see that Thiel is in the Feywild. Next up, for the one in the middle, you see another thing. This one you don't recognize though. For this one is for is for Serenel. He's in this. You see this place that is almost formless. It's very fuzzy inside of there. It looks almost like the signal is being, or the energies are being overloaded by too much magic. It's almost like they are, how should I say this? It's like almost like this place is like teeming with too much all at once. You see these mountains, these high mountains with these various golden clouds across it. You see places that look like they are just gleaming with light all over. As it does show that Serenel is in Elysium. And then you get to Argus's, which is taking a little bit because it's processing all the stuff. But it shows you almost like this split image. It shows this, this like almost ever changing, but slightly for somewhere familiar plane. And to each of you, it actually looks different. All right. There is what am I trying to say? There for Varys, it looks like Anabora. For Pensy, it looks like Karem. For Amelie, it looks like Sprinfall. For Isaac, it looks like Gerdishel specifically. And for Josaku, it looks like Fuzhou. But at the same time, there's almost like this like flash occasionally in your eyes, Josaku, of this barren wasteland filled with dust clouds and these far off figures. None of the rest of you can see that. But yeah. As y'all start to go there, as you start to like see more, you do see it sort of like narrow in on this spire. This huge spire. Often which seems to like keep going upward and upward and upward. Or eventually you can see very high in the sky it does stop. But that's not what really draws you to it. It's the fact that when the image starts to shift and move, underground almost at the base of the spire is almost like there's a building there, and it just seems to just be built like a circle cut out of the earth, driving all the way down. The Outlands, Elysium, and the Feywild. Champions of the Gods. Would any of you like to pursue any of them?
Is it time to split the party apart?
I mean, y'all can all just go to one. You don't have to split. They said whichever one. Say if y'all decided to all go to one, I'd say to save one of the three people, that they would send teams to save the other two.
I'd like to go save Argus.
Argus, okay, that's one.
That's ours.
Argus is on the way to get Pensy's thing, so sure.
Well, it seems like it. You would assume that it makes sense that that building is what it was, and it would logic would be given the fact that it is the Outlands, where where Caretaker would have said that the Library of All Knowledge is. That it would logically that is going to be the place. So yeah, that's 2 for going to the Outlands and save Argus.
Yeah, I will as well.
Okay, that's 3.
The Outlands are my vote.
4. Odd.
I'm sorry. What? I'm sorry.
No, they were just saying it's like, is everybody choosing to go to save Argus?
Yeah.
All right.
Hmm.
Sorry, I'm
Cast the
also.
spell.
Yep. All right then. In that case, uh, you would all need to uh, um. Okay. Oh, sorry. Ugh, God.
No,
That
don't
was
worry.
sorry. All right. So, what y'all say? After that, she's saying, "Good." But then the rest of you, if you could meet here on, if you could meet here on the morrow, we will get you as close to Argus, to seemingly to Argus's location, whatever that giant building is, as we possibly can.
Why are we waiting until tomorrow?
Because the people that can cast the spell to get you there are also the people that just cast it, that use that same level of spell power to be able to get it. If you could give us 8 hours, we possibly could send you there tonight. However, this would also give you time. So this would also give you time to be able to prep up and prepare. I've seen many planes across existence. It is never a good idea to go into one as wild as the Outlands, without doing any sort of prep work. When I've been told you've visited several planes before, however, this will be the first one where you are going in blind.
Well, then, since I guess we're forced to take some extra time, is there anywhere we can find information about maybe what we could expect?
Absolutely. You could check the archive. You could check the Arcanum's library. If you'd like to ask Lady Nakria, um, you could you could check the public library here in Sprinfall. Here in
Well,
Thorn. If you want to stock up on magic items or potions or anything like that, you absolutely can.
well, we're in the Arcanum right now.
Well, yes, y'all are in a wing of the
Or-
Arcanum. But like the library is
then-
closed off to all except for people with like kind of clearance, which y'all don't have. But again, Lady Nakria is, you could convince her to do that. You could try to convince her if you wanted.
Yeah, I definitely would try to.
All right. Well, you're the bard. Get to talking.
Yeah, my character might be the bard, but um, I was just thinking, don't you think it would be prudent to allow us access to the Arcanum's library so we might prepare, since we're kind of doing this for you guys?
Last I checked, you were doing this to save to save your superior. However,
I, I mean, personally, I don't really know him.
that is fair. Roll me a persuasion check.
Okay, dice, come on. Okay, got a 19 on the die, and persuasion's a plus 13.
Yeah,
That's a
no,
32.
the DC was 12. I'm sorry, the DC was 15. You needed a 2. So with a 32, she indicates over to one of her aides and says, "If you could escort them to the library and tell them that they have my express permission to be in there, then that would then please do so." Yes, Lady Six. All right. Is everybody going to the library? Is anybody else going to go and see if they could stock up or anything beforehand?
I'm gonna go to the library.
All right, that's two for the library. Library.
It's up to everybody else. I don't really care.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's one undecided. Head. What is Varys doing?
Varus is I'm actually not sure what Varus is gonna do. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think he's just gonna chill at the
I mean, you could always just help them
whatchamacallit.
look through the library.
Bro, Varus can't read.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Oh, I forgot he can't read.
Well, he can kind of read.
You can read.
Well, you can read certain languages. You can read Aquan.
Yeah. And he can read Elven. He just can't read Common that well. Kinda.
I mean, you can see if there's any Elvish books in there too.
I think he's gonna see what Misha and Illyria are up to.
They are. Ulyri actually has already left with the elves.
He's
No,
gonna
did
go
leave
tell
the
Misha
majority.
where one of the reveries is.
Which one are you trying to tell her?
The monk one.
Which one? There's two.
Josaku's, not Josaku's,
Cecil.
Asma has one. Asma
Remember-
has one. Yeah.
Cecil.
Remember, Varys doesn't know who Asmahat is.
No, yeah, but I'm saying Asma has one, just so that, like, you know.
Well,
Teeth told.
if you would like, while they're in the library, you can ask Caretaker to figure stuff out.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Then, okay. Everyone heading over to the library. I'm just gonna shift it to the look like the Arcanum for now. I'm just actually gonna leave it on this. When you're in the library, I need everyone to roll me investigation checks.
Finally, my time.
Oh dear.
I know this is one you don't really get to use that much.
That's pretty good for me. 'Cause I have
17.
a -1.
It is your time! Isaac is in the
Holy-
corner no more!
He's
Pensy,
so freaking powerful.
what did you get?
Can I bardic myself?
Yes, you can.
All right. Oh, that's a waste. I should use that on someone else. I rolled a 2. Investigation. That's a 4 total plus what's it? D10 for bardic. Ugh. I rolled a 1. Wow, that could not have gone.
You
much
rolled a
worse. That's
natural 1.
5.
Okay. I believe, don't you have a thing where you can reroll ones as a bard?
No, I rolled a 1 for my bardic.
Oh, okay. Well, what did you roll overall?
It's a total of 5.
Total of 5. As y'all go into the library, Amelie and Isaac, you realize that you're doing a lot of the heavy lifting because of the fact that Pensy and Josaku have no idea where the fuck they're looking.
That's fair.
That's fair, but also with the 17, the natural 20, natural 20 does carry a lot here, even with the 5 and the 8, because that does give you all a total of 58 out of a possible of 80. So out of a like general DC, as a like even if y'all did perfectly, it would have been like an 80 on the dice. Y'all managed to find several books on the Outlands. So things about the Outlands. The plane has a changing perception depending on who is looking at it. To everyone, it looks new but familiar. Typically, when you enter it, if you enter alone, it will look like wherever you find, say, whatever is the place that you call home. For example, like if you're a farmer for an eastern town, you would see farmland. If you're a scribe, you'd see something akin to a huge library, wherever you landed or something like that. It'd be based. Each one would be based on you. As a group, that magic sorts to sort of wane, and it starts to go to a little bit of a random topography, depending on where you land. Um, the Outlands also is notorious for having neutralizing effects on the effects of magic and magic items. The closer you get to the center of the plane, the more you would let's say the more your magic items would actually be depowered. Right now, so I'm doing it in kind of reverse to how it works in D&D lore, because in D&D lore it says like the closer you get to the center it is, which is kind of stupid to me. Say the closer, well, the farther away from the center it is, the worse your magic is. I think that's kind of stupid. Where like actually no, well, actually keep it in reverse. Yeah, that the center there's the higher magic. So you would know based on the descriptions of the things that you find in the books that there is a place called the Library of All Knowledge, and that it is actually only about 150 miles out. Um, there is a there is a location where like magic does start to team, but you'll also start reading into that. You would know that the further you go out, is that, and also the effects of your magical items may be a little bit different inside of the library or in the Outlands in general. Let me see. Let me see. One moment. You also know that the library is adjacent to actually a prison. In ancient times, it was used as a prison for demons and devils in a place called the
Hey,
House of Knowledge.
do you mind if I step away for the night?
Go for it. Again, we're about to wrap up here in the next like 20 minutes anyway.
Yeah, thank
Like
you.
it's literally just gonna be like Hedge's conversation with Caretaker and y'all's thing, and like any sort of like magic items that you'll need to buy, and that's it.
I understand. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. Have a good night, y'all.
Good night.
iPod.
All right. But again, like the library is adjacent to a prison, so it's almost like as if like in the House of Knowledge, there is a like certain levels to it, where certain levels are used as a library and certain levels are used as a prison, and you have to go through the prison to get to the library. Is there anything else y'all are wanting to know about it? I will say with a natural 20, actually, also Isaac, there is something for you once everybody else is done.
Other than the like general just hazards, is there any like potential enemies or anything we would need to look out for?
Specifically in the House of Knowledge, and you'll would only get to like this part and like this much information because of that natural 20, kind of like giving y'all that little bit extra. I would say you're not able to find anything, and Amelie and Josaku isn't able to, but Isaac, you find a description of not only the devils and demons that were sort of like taken there and imprisoned there, but you are also finding something of this group called the Wardens. Thousands of years ago, they were sort of the jailers of it. These almost autonomous mechanical individuals. Supposedly, they resisted magical influence and whatnot. And you see one describe, say, like, kind of there. You see it kind of looks like this metal warrior with several arms, each one holding a different sword. And yeah. Is there anything else for that?
I think I'm good.
All right, Isaac. So that thing is again, Isaac. You would find that thing about like the wardens of the jail and how like you have to get through them to go to the library.
Gotcha.
But they are also reported thousands of years ago, and supposedly since the Blood War, say you find a more recent book that says since the Blood War has ended, most of the demons and devils there have sort of like entered the state of like pseudo hibernation. Most of the wardens are suspected to be offline at this point. Not really a need for wardens if there's no prisoners. All right. We will then go back to Varys. Varys, you wanted to ask questions to Caretaker?
Yeah.
All right. As you pull out his crystal and he appears. Ah, yes. Lord Varys, how can I help you?
Right now, Katic, I feel like our number one priority is making sure that as many guild leaders are able to get their hands on reveries.
Just
As
guild
of
leaders
right
or
now,
anyone else as well?
I believe Misha Sand does not have a reverie, and I figured I'm assuming that would be multiple reveries that would fit her. Would you have any idea what would be good for her?
What
I
kind of
already
warrior is Lady Sand?
some would meant I guess the easiest way would to say a monk,
You'd say a martial artist.
a martial artist.
A martial artist. Well, in that case, there are two that come to mind immediately. As he does that thing where he projects an image on the nearby wall from his crystal, and you do see a say first of all, there's an image of a person wearing this orange cloak, and you see them pulling out I'll say basically like surrounded by people. You see, it is a one moment. I've got to figure out who it was that held this one. You see, it is actually a Warforged. Who like once he's surrounded, you see that he does this, and sort of his arms like split into six, and each one pulls out a different weapon from his cloak. Each one with bearing a different construction, each one bearing like different things like that, and you see him basically go to town with these martial artist moves. He's even carrying even attached to his foot ends up being a weapon generated by this by this rope. First of all, this is Crucible. Once wielded by by Helix, the many armed. It can generate weapons of of unparalleled quality, second only to the Reveries, with every at will, as well as being able to generate medium to lesser quality weapons in greater quantity. It can allow the user to utilize these weapons at any given time. Effectively, what this thing does mechanically is it allows you to sort of roll on a table and get how should I say this? It allows you to like move faster. It allows you to generate weapons, and it like generates that weapon of your choice. Lacks all of your attacks with those weapons are treated as unarmed strikes. And it basically gives you various weapon feats to it, depending on what form you get. It basically is feats on a stick. Like one of them gives you multi attack, one of you gives you dual wielder, one of them increases your AC, one of them gives you like proficiency like with it being able to throw the weapon, one of them allows you to carry like multiple two-handed weapons in your hand at once. It's like there's stacking feats in effect with that item.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one is Seath Toll, the Raps of Iron. In the words of its former wielder, as he does it, it's not exactly like it's very versatile. Oh yeah, it is basically limited blade works. So this is this is Crucible. I know it says fabrication. I forgot to change the name in my thing. Let me do it now. And then you have Seath Toll, which Crucible is wielded by. I say was wielded by. Those are the Primarchs. Let me find. This is Helix. And then you have the one, Asmaha. Jose's character from our Primarch few shots. As you see this Shadar Kai, you actually see him squaring up with various members of the Fae. As you see him start to go to town, you see this also queenly looking one, almost as if like a twisted version of Titania, and you see him just going like pop 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 pop, and you think like, and you see like every hit seems to be seeming like it's hitting even harder and harder. You see his fists start, say the wraps on his arms, seeming like they're starting to coalesce into metal around his fist. The toll. In the words of their former wielder, Asmaha, who self-titled himself the One, they harden in response to physical trauma. Effectively, the more you hit, the harder you be. Do either of these fit Miss, say, Lady Sand's style of fighting?
I feel like Seath Toll fits her style of fighting better than Crucible does.
Well, Seath Toll, which by the way is Elvish for Iron Fist. Seath Toll is in. I had it. I gotta find it. It's in the Seat of Steel in the Root Hold. If she desires Crucible, it will be in the Furnace. I'll say in the Grand Furnace, the City of Brass. Sorry, the Great Furnace.
Yeah.
You may do with this information what you will, Lord Varys. And if I may,
Your advice is always greatly welcome, Katika.
more reverie wielders is a good idea. There can never be too many champions of the gods if you think that there are those who are worthy. Are there any others than Miss Sand you think would be capable of wielding such an item? I do know that your
I
newest compatriot Pensy is being discussed as wielding, I say, as being the person to uh, potentially wield the gem of Lord Denier. Have you
who's Lord
thought about,
Denier?
I would say, with Yagu not being around? Garim is the Oh yeah. The mace is currently in the hands of Kaba. Kaba currently has both the Eternal Bastion and Obligation.
No, okay, maybe it's not a mace, but it's the thingy that's like the Feywild one.
Evergreen.
Oh, Garum, the one that Garum, yeah.
You're
I think
talking
he's
about
talking about the Berserker weapon. He's talking about what's it called? The
Evergreen.
Barbarian one.
No, the Barbarian one's already taken by Harglith. You have two of the Barbarian ones, and Harglith has the third.
Wasn't there one that was in the Feywild?
There is one in the Feywild, but that is Evergreen. That is the Hammer of Wild Magic. That's the one where you have to roll on like a D10,000 table.
Yeah, I think that could work for Garum. I believe that's his name.
Garim. I'll say if you said like you describe Garim's like fighting style, then question, is he a vicious person? Would you say evil?
Nope. I wouldn't call him evil.
Would you say he is of a more wild nature, someone who cannot be controlled or contained?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think his style is more of that of destruction, of unpredictability, of illusionary tactics?
Yes. In a way, he is a barbarian that can use wild magic. So
Well, then in that case, you should have led with wild magic. As he moves his hand again, and then you see him show. No way this fucker survived the shattering. There's no way. Okay, no. They didn't. Okay, I was thinking like, there's no fucking way. This is uh Belka. Let's say Belka of the Free Growth, wielder of Evergreen, the hammer of Lady Melora. As you see her like slam down, and then like these grasping vines come out anywhere. You see her smack another guy, and then he turns into a chicken.
Hmm.
You see another one, and like this like lightning effect appears in her eyes, as then she like goes out, and it just shocks everywhere. Does that seem more like your friend? I would say Lord Garam's taste.
it does quite a lot.
That would be in the Feywild.
Yeah.
It is
That's another
currently
look.
it is currently in the Twisted Jungle. There are more reveries here on Abeline, including one I believe could fit your friend. Oh, say one of your friends, one of your new compatriots. And he moves over, and you see the most handsome-looking being you've ever seen.
Huh.
Again, you just notice it's like this guy. It's like, wow, that guy's fucking handsome. And you see him sort of like walking, but you see what's radiating. The focus is weird because it's kind of like a little bit lower, and it's constantly keeping his boots in frame. Originally, the boots, say known as the boots of irresistibility, quickly became known as the boots of Bezos, built by Bezos.
God, I love that item.
Fucking hate y'all for making me do that. It's
That's
hilarious. Don't get me wrong.
one of the best things we've come up with.
Yeah, no, okay, so Kiwi, for reference, there was a GIF that I showed for it because originally the name for the boots was Runway. Um, and I did this, and I gave them a GIF teasing each of the reveries before they started to find them. And the one I did for Runway was actually this thing from an Amazon Prime show where it was this dude just like strutting on top of a lunch table, like almost like a runway. And then Phil's ass decided that it'd be a cool thing to call them the boots of Bezos, and then that caught on. Eventually, I caved in.
I
So
also called
now,
another one the Wrath of Warren, but that one didn't catch on as much.
yeah, no, I'm not calling equality the Wrath of Warren. Because I already had stuff done for that one. I didn't have the fucking Primark for Runway done at that time. Whereas I had the thing for equality and how that was going to be like the member that kind of like dipped. Yeah, no, I wasn't letting y'all change that one because I had equality done from the fucking get go. So yeah, you see it, and again, he is just like charming people left and right. You see him sort of like almost like sidestepping through the battlefield. No one is touching him. So yeah, that is how it is. The boots of Bezos, wielded by Bezos, the center of attention. Again, he's a changeling, so he can basically look like whatever you think is handsome. Are there any others that you have in mind? I know we've already discussed Chronicler.
I think off the top of my head, that's all I can think of.
Uh, who is it? I say who. I do not believe I have met some person, but I do remember y'all indicating that the champion of Bahamut is around in the world.
Yes. But they are a very angry dragon right now.
Dragon. Fortunately, not exactly the person to the other reverie that a. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that he would suggest here. Um, any elves? Say who could take reveries?
There is one, but she is a gravity wizard.
Graviturgy wizard matters not. Any sort of thing matters not. It matters that she is an elf. If you think
There
she
is
would
one.
capable of passing the trials, may I suggest elegance? Elegance!
Hmm.
Yes, the racist one. Exactly, Phil. You remembered. I'm so happy that you remembered. This is Benley. Ah, yes. Here she is. Oh, and I didn't post the picture of the boot and the other thing. Yeah, I know, right? I got some sick ass images for the Primarchs. The elegance and the boots of Bezos. As y'all do see it, elegance enhances every aspect of being an elf. Their magical capability, ability to hit longer off shots, everything about that makes you an elf is amplified.
Bullshit.
In what way?
Why don't I get something like that?
Are you half of a high or
Well, I'm a drow, so I don't think that would work. A
that does
half
not?
drow.
I say that does not count. I apologize, Varys, but unfortunately, Lord Corellin doesn't exactly favor.
Yeah, he's a bit of a racist. I know that.
I can neither confirm. Astral elves. There's high elves, wood elves, pale elves. Many various kinds of elf, but unfortunately, Lord Corellin took many steps to make sure Drow specific. Sorry.
Rose straight up said, "I'm gonna be a racist."
It's Corellin. What do you expect, man?
No, I don't expect anything other than racism from him.
I was like, even in D&D, like canon D&D lore, dude is basically an elf supremacist. Come on. But yeah, no, that's about all I'll say with that. Those are just some I would remember. There are dozens of reveries which have not been claimed. Many which can wield great power and would anyone is a master archer. Low canopy would be. And you see Vega shooting it off before doing his carpet bomb. Uh if you know anyone who is special I would say is that of natural sorceress magic. There is both the champion I would say is both that of the Raven Queen. As you see this giant raven being summoned by this Kalishtar.
Ooh.
Actually, let me post them real quick. That way everybody can kind of see things. Because I don't know if y'all have ever actually taken at the Primarchs anyway. Primarchs. The first up is Nazo, the Grim Magus for the champion of the Raven Queen. And then of course y'all know the champion of Mistra, who you see basically using this wand that is like just radiating magical powered, Aloe. And of course everyone also remembers Vega. There is an orb which will allow you to be the master of beasts. X. Yeah, there's a ton of them there. Though I do know that there is one reverie expressed intention of over before, but it would be quite difficult to obtain. As he shows this drow who is like fading in and out of shadow. The man,
So while I think that is quite cool, I also do not wish to die.
Widowmaker's
So-
mantle is a place where you would find yourself, say, in grave danger. Nevermore. And yeah, okay. Yeah, there's a bunch of them there. I was saying with that, if you have any other more questions, of course, Lord Varys, you know I am at your service. As he powers down. All right. Would y'all like to go to a magic shop, or do y'all want to go to a magic shop at all?
Well, I think we should be good.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking god. Okay. All right. If y'all want to pass up this magic shop.
I mean, okay, sure, we can go to the magic shop. Let's see.
Hold up. Let me see what this is. Okay. Wait. What the fuck is this thing? Huh? Actually, no. Y'all may not want. That is. Never mind. There's not as much cool shit as I thought there would be.
We can go see what Hyper's cooked up.
Well, actually, let me potentially give y'all a magic shop next week.
Yeah.
And with that, we'll actually end the session there with y'all having done your research and everything. You've decided what to do next, which is go save Argus from the Outlands, and specifically the Library and House of All Knowledge. Thank you everybody watching at home. Catch y'all next. And thank God it's Friday. Next time.